Sports on Air.
Coach,
Yep.
your first championship with ALAB Pilipinas, I was there covering you guys, and it was one heck of a ride.
Yep.
God bless Miss Cheryl Reyes for bringing you Renaldo Balkman and Justin Brownlee. Um,
Absolutely.
Talk us about, of course, they were replacement players, and I was covering their first game. When they came, they lacked sleep. Okay, run us through that story once again, and of course, I mean that was a crazy game. I didn't expect. I mean these guys didn't have much sleep, and it was Renaldo Balkman's return to the Philippines. So run us through that. Of course, Renaldo Balkman is a very controversial person before coming to the
hmm
Philippines back then. So run us through that. How do you got Justin and Renaldo Balkman?
Okay, so I'll share a story with you guys. Start of my first ABL season, absolute struggle. I mean, we're just not doing very well. 2 months into the season, we're in last place. Um, but there was a light at the end of the tunnel because rest in peace. To Cheryl, who's a very dear friend of mine. Um, we spoke about bringing in two replacement imports, and right away she said, well, hey, Justin wants to play. And so we were able we were so fortunate to get him on board to play with us, but we still needed one more import. And so it's I met Danny Siegel. We met for a late dinner and literally tried to brainstorm who we could pair Justin Brownlee with, because we said, hey, with Justin on board, we might have the best import in the entire ABL, but who do we pair with him? Because we weren't very big, so we're like, do we get a big guy, or do we just try to find the best guy we can, considering our budget limitations? So we are literally brainstorming till 2:30 in the morning, and we can't think of anyone. Like, we guys weren't available, guys, wouldn't accept the offer. And so Danny goes, I wonder what Renaldo Balkman's doing right now. And it's funny because when we played against Puerto Rico in Spain, Balk and I had a chance. We met, we were actually having dinner at the same place, and we had a chance to talk. And he said, hey, if you ever coach, I'd love to go back and make things right in Manila. And so I said, you know what? DS? I think I have Balk's number. Sure enough, I had his number. It was like 3 a.m. Manila time, but he was on the East Coast. So it was about 3 in the afternoon. And I called him, and I'm like, hey, Balk, it's Jimmy Alapag from the Philippines. And he's like, oh, hey, how you been? And long story short, he was coming off of an injury, hadn't played in 8 months. But I said, hey, you want to come back to Manila? And he said, hey, I'm on board. And Danny Siegel and I sat there around 3:05 in the morning and looked at each other like we couldn't believe we had Renaldo Balkman and Justin Brownlee as the imports for ALAB that season. And so that's where it started.
Wow.
And from there, coach, did you know that you can already turn the season around? I mean, you guys, you said it was a bad start for you guys. And talk us about that season. That when both of those guys came in, did you had a hard time mixing them up with your players' current roster at that time?
No, the transition was seamless because you could just sense the excitement with everyone because they knew the caliber of imports that we had. And credit to Balk and Justin because they came in, embraced the guys, made them feel comfortable, gave them confidence. And credit to our local guys that season because they continued to stay the course with what we were doing. And it could have been very easy for them to just blame me or blame each other for why we were struggling early. But we talked about it and said, hey, if we're gonna find our way out of our struggles, we have to help ourselves. and we have to push each other a little bit harder at practice. And again, having two big time imports like those guys coming in, it all just kind of came together almost immediately.
And talk us about those two imports. What do people don't know about those two guys? And talk us about coaching those guys.
You know, I mean, with both those guys, you know, I think their talent and their basketball ability speaks for itself. Their resume speak for itself. But for the people who don't know, it's again the people that they are, off the court and how they are with their teammates, how they are when we travel on the road to our kababayans, in and around Southeast Asia, how they embrace our culture and accept the responsibility of not just being an import player, but representing the country. And they took a lot of pride in that. And our guys could feel it. The fans could feel it. And again, that's what made that first season so special, because it started off so bad, but because of the guys' hard work, the rest of the staff on our coaching staff, everyone's hard work. It was awesome to see everyone, reap the fruits of the labor at the end of the season.
Thank you for watching. Click the subscribe button and ring the bell to be notified with our latest videos.